had such a good entry, a lot of pieces, and there were very few that didn't have something to recommend them, and we struggled in the end to get down to a manageable number of pieces. There are 7 in the workshop today, and they're all very, very different. That's what I think the other really exciting thing is, how different they are one from another, and yet they all do interesting things with the 6 players within the consort of viols.
I enjoyed playing the viol, and I wanted to try composing for it, so I saw the competition and decided to enter. But I've composed before, but this is my first piece for the viol. I'm pleased with how it's gone so far.
I'd never written for viols before, and it's amazing to have the opportunity now, especially such a wonderful ensemble. And I'm really happy how it turned out, because obviously it's a very complex piece.
Well, for me personally, I've never actually come in contact with a viol consort before, so it's something completely new to me. I've written quite a lot of pieces before, and I've been 6 years at a music college, had really good connections with great musicians there, but never anything like this. And so a collaboration with an ensemble as great as Fretwork, it's really inspiring, and I completely jumped at the chance to write a piece which would only be for this competition. When else would I get a piece played by a viol consort? So I really jumped at the chance and thought it was a really great opportunity.
For this piece, I wanted to just have something very plain and hopefully more communicative because of that. It's just a piece that happens and then it's over and you can take away what you like.
The standard is extremely high. I think we're all quite pleasantly surprised that all the pieces are definitely playable and viable pieces, and extremely effective, some of them. It's difficult to tell before you actually start playing them. I always find it difficult to imagine the sounds on the looking at the score, but when we started playing them, we found them to be excellent pieces.
It's been absolutely amazing. It's been quite extraordinary, the level of compositions that we've had, the standard that young people have actually risen to in this. So incredibly inventive. I don't think there are 2 pieces that are alike. The responses of how you can actually write for a group of 6 viol players, drawing on sort of 500 years worth of history and how we might incorporate that into a composition without writing a piece of viol pastiche, that's V-I-O-L, pastiche, has been quite extraordinary, and really, really rewarding, really heartwarming.
You have to, in some way, write with an awareness of what the consort music of the 17th century was like, but also you have to be able to rethink the ensemble in a 21st century context. So that's a very interesting compositional challenge, and each of the composers has solved it in a really individual way.
I really try and spend as much time as possible thinking about the piece before putting pen to paper, because I think it's really important to sort of get things like time frames and certain material to sort of inhabit what you're thinking about before you begin to compose the material, And this piece is exactly the same. I tried to really sort of live with the ideas a bit before getting on with the real work, really.
Well, I like really getting into the medium that I'm writing for, whether it's voices like last year or viols, as in here, and exploring everything they can do and the different sort of colours they can produce, really.
Once I'd listened to some recordings of Fretwork and other viol ensembles, it gave me a real inspiration for the sort of music I wanted to write, potentially for this sort of group.
But they're more similar time signatures.
For those who are busy doing the maths, there are 2 points on each page. There are only 2 points where everything lines up. One is the end of the page, and one is somewhere on a half beat in the middle.
I think it's a good step for young composers, particularly. As experience goes, it's good to hear your own pieces and work performed. in a workshop and in concert.
I think you can really you could develop as a composer from hearing your pieces performed by professionals, and you could sort of hear what works and what doesn't, and then use the good ideas next time you compose, and then give the bad ones a miss.
I'm just looking for that kind of, early attack, that early music sort of attack, that kind of. A piece isn't really finished until I've heard it on instruments for the first time. So, and then often I'll go away and rework bits. So maybe there are bits from this piece that I'll look at again and think maybe that doesn't work so well. Maybe, and the group have come up with some great suggestions already for different ways I might create the effect that I'm after through more violistic means.
After a while, the emergent characteristics of the piece come out, and it was interesting discovering that something that I might think, oh, that's not really my cup of tea to begin with, actually has these characteristics that come out of it when you hear it a few times, it's been played a few times, you think, oh, actually there are, really nice moments in that piece that come together as a result of the ensemble working together and not so much just what's written on the page.
The whole piece is sort of winding down at that stage.
Could the first section be slightly slower, or is it?
Right, sure, yes.
Ping dong.
Okay, yes.
Just use the same finger for that.
Oh, I see. The workshop element, I think, is very important. It's a chance for them to not only bring what they know at this point in time and say, well, this isn't the best I can accomplish at this particular point in time. Also, with the expertise of composers such as Christopher Fox and with the viol group Fretwork themselves, that they can pick up, they can learn, they can take things forward, that the workshop opens up other sort of like vistas for them and helps them and guides them in their compositional career for the future.
This is a very much work in progress day for us. We're able to put some questions to the composers and able to find out what they were intending, whether we are delivering. They can give us ideas. We can also give them ideas as to what works better for viols and what doesn't work so well. It's a test for us because just even to get through a piece that is as rhythmically complicated as some of these pieces are is going to be a real trial, and we're really going to need to concentrate extremely hard to make sure that it doesn't come to grief.
We're taking an early music group, a period group, an established group like Fretwork. Okay, we've got young people who are writing for it. Look at what they can actually do. And I think to put that message across to people in itself is actually something really important and really exciting.
Well, I think it's been really good. I've really enjoyed hearing my piece being performed by a live group, especially a good one like Fretwork.
The most valuable thing I'll take away is a closer hand experience of hearing the instruments rehearse and just hearing them so close. I think you can listen to recordings to a certain extent and get an idea, but really there's nothing quite like having the instruments played in front of you, seeing them work through different bits, seeing what's difficult, what balances, all these little things, which is always extremely valuable for the next piece, Always thinking about the next piece at the back of your mind, really.
The most important thing is hearing the product, and because you don't learn anything from winning, you learn from hearing a piece played.
I think I'll take away just some of the technical points of writing for an instrument. I mean, it was something we didn't really go into with my piece. They just said it plays very nicely, and I just thought, well, I didn't intend it to be that way. I just sort of wrote it, and I'm glad it worked out.
It's good to hear other people's opinions and obviously take them on board.
It's very rare you get to work with a viol consort, full stop, let alone such a brilliant one, an experienced one with contemporary music. And yeah, the whole thing's been a privilege just to work with them, and they're such nice people as well, which always makes a big difference.
It's always great to be chosen. You enter as much as you can, and you just keep your fingers crossed at whatever comes up. So it's great to be picked. I've really enjoyed the experience.
Right now, I'm just glad to have heard what works and what doesn't, and where I can take these ideas in the future.
I'm just really happy that I've had this chance and to do the workshop and everything, and I think having got this far it's really great, and I'm just looking forward to the concert and hearing it then.
We'd like to take both Sarah and Bertie through to the 21st of December, so congratulations to both of you.
Really happy and really surprised because I never thought I would win, but it's really amazing, and I'm just really glad I'm going to have the opportunity to hear it again, and really grateful to Fretwork because, I mean, they made my piece sound much better than I thought it ever would, and I'm really happy about it.
Well, I'm thrilled, really. I never really expected to get to the final or let alone win it, so I'm really excited to be at this stage now. It's really good.
In the older category, there is indeed just one winner, and that is Christopher Roberts.
It's one step on the ladder for me. I haven't had too many opportunities as a composer recently, and this one has provided, I think, obviously the best one so far.
I think because I put in a lot of work on this piece and had a lot of struggles with it, and I think now it has come off, I'm really happy and really boosted about that.
I think I'm going to be sort of more confident trying new ideas in my compositions, so it's nice to have a piece performed and you can see which ideas worked and which ideas you'd like to modify and maybe not use again. So it's been a really helpful and instructive experience.